When you truly want to be the absolute best at something, it requires you to be all in. There really isn't much balance when you're pursuing really ambitious goals. For the last 18 months, I've been all in on developing the gym and forming my own coaching business. There really hasn't been any balance or any time to go all in on bodybuilding, but from now on, that has changed.
Oh! Come on. You go again.
In the next 12 months, I'm going to be showing you what it takes to be all in. From going all the way through a heavy off-season, gaining as much tissue as I can possibly, to going through a diet prep stage, where the final result will be stepping on stage for that first time and showing the very best natural physique that I have to offer. This new YouTube series is all in, and I can't wait to show you guys the journey.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the YouTube series. So in this series, we are going to be documenting the whole 12 months of me from going from a gaining phase all the way into a prep and eventually stepping on stage. We'll be documenting as well through this. Some of my clients that I've got will be showing Jack's whole prep, which he's just started. He's 20 weeks out, and we'll be going through the whole experience. We'll go through training, lifestyle, absolutely everything, and showing you what it means to be all in.
How's it going, guys? My name's Jack, as Louis introduced. I started with Louis in January. Been with him since, went through a gaining phase. Now we're on prep. It's going well so far. Louis as a coach is fantastic. I can't complain about anything.
How much did we gain over from January to March period when we started?
We gained, I would say, it's 4 to 5 kilos. 4 to 5 kilos on top of what I was already gaining before I started with Louis. So that's 5 kilos of progress we made over what? How many months?
Three or so months,
yeah.
I think. Which
Yeah.
at a dog end of a prep is absolutely bonkers. Just goes to show, like, there's always room for improvement.
Absolutely.
And when you go all in, you can make such big developments in your physique and
Absolutely.
really take it to that next level. The leg press, and we'll do a 20 reppers again and stuff like that.
Yes.
Cool.
Hardcore. He's got the paper version. I'm on the phone logging it all.
Can't beat paper, mate.
No.
You just can't beat paper. I get too distracted if I'm on my phone. I'll be on Facebook, Instagram, or Pornhub. Either one of them.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we start warming up and get into it a little bit?
Let's go.
I want to reduce niggles as much as possible now, and I think if we're like in our warm-up, we're emulating patterns that we're going to do later on in our training, then that's just going to help us so much more with our mobility. It's going to potentially prevent a niggle, and it's just going to get our body primed for when we're actually like doing that movement. I think you can't just step into and just do the workout these days. It has to be more, and I think from a mental standpoint as well, like, if you start warming up, you can just start to get your head slowly more in that game. Yeah. What I want you to do as well is obviously prepping your legs and everything else like that, but if then one thing we don't prep is our bracing before.
Yeah.
And if you're going straight into a hack squat of like 200 kilos or whatever like that,
yeah.
and you haven't done any prep or anything like that, it's just exactly the same principle as if we're trying to train a different body part. We need to prep it, get it ready. So I literally just want you to do, just come up there and just do a couple of leg raises, just really crunch hard on the abs.
Abs. Those 4 reps are the only 4 reps I've done in the last year for abs.
I was so fucked from my last leg session that I literally just drove home in those toe shoes. I was thinking, if I get pulled over right now by the police and I come out and they're like, "Excuse me, sir, what are you?"
Flip-flops.
What the fuck are they?
I think toe shoes better flip-flops.
Do you think so? A bit noncy though, aren't they? So if you didn't know already, we are going on adductor first. That's our first main exercise. Jack's hell of a strong on this, so we'll be packing on the plates. But the big thing we want to make sure on this one is not to cheat it too much. We don't want to be getting our body weight to be kind of like lifting ourselves out of the seat. We want to be glued into that seat as much as possible, and we want to be drawing our knees in, okay? So literally drawing our knees in and making sure that we're not bouncing out of each rep. You want to make sure that it's nice and controlled, coming until the ankle comes in line with the hip joint, and then that's it. I see so many people when they're doing an adductor machine and they are literally just banging out with it. That's going to cause so much external stress in the adductor, and also you're going to be using a lot of momentum to get it to A to B. carry literally 2 logbooks, so I look like the biggest doofus as I already do in the gym. I look even worse.
Oh yes, come on. Nice one, mate. Good shit.
What'd you get last time on that?
70 for 20.
Again. 20 weeks, Jack, 20 weeks, that's all it is. And again, there's one more now, come on. Don't leave anything to chance now, let's go. Yes. Good. I did 65 for 15 last time, so I'm gonna go up to 70.
Nice.
Fucking abductor was just flapping
out.
going in the wind, mate, on its own little journey.
That's the first set out of the way. First exercise, sorry. I adjust it because a bit taller than Louis. So.
Fucking hell, you're going straight in on that, are you?
Oh no, I've been warming up. Second exercise. Life fitness ham curl. Nice and controlled. Solid contractions, slow negatives.
Try to catch me with the feelings, but too bad I don't have much of those. All I'm about is my pesos. You better have that thing by the month. Love can't have so much conflict, even at 4:44 in the morning. Let my jet turn around, let it roll, cause I'm in control. Friday night, on 56, light a match, yeah we lit. Give her what she worked for, but I ain't promising no promises. She took me to the back room, gave me what I wanted, then she looked back. Ooh, let me get home, then she looked down, I'm in control.
Fundamentally, this is probably one of the best exercises for developing hamstrings, as well as maybe a Romanian deadlift or a stiff leg. The reason why I like this over everything is just because of how locked in you can get in it. So we've obviously got the quad pad that we can put in here, and then a little trick that me and Jack as well do, and what I get all my clients to do, is that we'll get a seat belt and we'll put it around the back of the seat, and then strap ourselves in, just to make sure that our hips aren't floating out at all, and our body weight isn't getting rammed forward as we're pushing down. Another big thing as well, a lot of people don't see doing, is when you're trying to get yourself aligned up with this machine, make sure that you're getting your knee joint in line with this pivot point of this machine here. If you're not working against the machine, then you're going to be providing a lot of torque into the knee and cause a bit of a problem. And also, we're not working with the machine, so let's work with the machine and get the most out of it we can. So when you've got a big bastard like Jack, we need to put a little bit extra on there, because apparently this stack is not enough.
I have had worse stuff said to me, so that is very nice.
Take that. I think bodybuilding is probably the only sport when you can call someone a big bastard and get away with it, and it's not taken as an insult.
Yeah.
I think if someone ever said to me, "You're looking slimmer," which they have done while I've been dieting,
that's a no.
it's real deep, isn't it?
That cuts deep for sure. Yep.
Perfect tempo, Jack. More. One now. Come on then, Jack. You take it as much as you can. That's it. One more. These are the reps that count, mate. 20 fucking weeks. 20 weeks. Let's go. Back, down. Squeeze, contract. Good man.
Nasty. Very nasty.
Obviously, we've got the shoot in 4 weeks, so I was like, I can't go to that shoot just completely like a milk bottle, because it's just not going to do me any favours. So I was like, right, Kate was like, you need to get a spray tan. So I was like, if I get it cuffed like 3 to 4 weeks prior, see what I look like with it, and then we can just kind of go from there. If I need to add a little bit more, like not go as harsh, do you know what I mean? But anything's going to look stupid on me, so if I can just go for the lightest tone and work.
I reckon a little spray tan look very nice, mate.
Do you reckon?
Very nice.
What's that? You went up what? Went down 3 pegs and you still got the same amount of reps? Fucking ridiculous. See, this is what I have to go against. I've got clients way better than me, way stronger than me.
Oh no.
Making me look like shit, making me look like...
Louis is the technique god. Technique over everything. Control.
I don't know what to do, Jack, because I hit 98 last time.
What did you do for
I got
98?
15 as well. I might just stick on the 98 and just like...
Try and beat it with yourself.
Yeah.
And then after that, once you fail yourself, we go through some...
I'm a kilo down from last week as well, so I have to keep that in mind, like with it as well. Like, I'm not going to be eking out reps on reps.
We go again.
Those are.
I thought it was Louis.
These are the man sets. Big hack sweat sets.
I would say hack squatting is probably one of the best, if not my favourite exercise for developing your quads. I think being married to a squat, which a lot of people are because they think that's what you need to do because it's a big free lift. For everybody, it doesn't really work very well. Not everyone has the biomechanics to actually squat properly into a good amount of depth. A lot of times when people squat, they'll either get a lot of hip action, they'll break at the hip and their hip will take over and they'll get a lot of glute and ham. Whereas with a hack squat, you can get yourself so lined up and locked in. You've got the safety of you not having to use balance or anything like that like you would with a squat. We can also make sure that we can get our feet nice into a nice low position, and so we get maximal knee flexion at the joint. We can also do little things as well, like reverse banding it, putting a band over the top of the sled, just to help us out of that hole if we have any weaknesses in knee injuries or anything like that, which a lot of people that have knee injuries, they can't squat, so putting a reverse band on it makes it so much better. For this, I find whenever I'm doing like a squatting pattern or a squatting movement, the best sensation, the best connection I get with my quad is when I go barefoot or I wear the little toe shoes. Today, luckily enough for you guys, I forgot my toe shoes and they're still at home, so we're just going barefoot. So we'll see how we get on with that. Yeah, but if you are struggling to get connection with your quad, struggling to get knee flexion, go barefoot. It makes so much difference, okay? But just make sure it's safe when you're doing so. Just make sure there's enough grip on the machine that you're using, just so you're not going to slip off and cause damage, and so I'm not liable for that.
I'm in control.
Down. Now drive up, strong step. All you. Yes. Man. Like that last set, that last rep was better than the second to last one, man. Cheers, man. So much better. I think the only, like, I don't know if you are doing it, but like when at the top you're taking the brace right at the top, and I think it's gassing you out a little bit.
It is, yeah.
So what I would say is just like,
take it in the bottom half.
Take it just before you're about to go into that, when your knees go parallel to your hips. Just take it then, because otherwise you're gassing yourself and holding it for so long and exerting yourself. After the second rep, you're fucked. Do you know what I mean? Like breathing so hard. So I think literally just take that brace a little, just like continue, come down, take it just before the end, and then power.
Obviously being on camera, I can't fail. Can't fail. Too easy. Take your time now.
Fuck me.
7, mate.
7?
Yeah.
When you've got sets like that, you've literally just got one shot to do that, and you need to take yourself somewhere completely different to any average thought process that you can go through. You can't just go up and turn up and do shit like that. Like, you literally have to mentally prepare yourself for a set like that. I would say the night before. Like the night before, getting your sleep right, everything, getting your food right, everything like that, and then finding a song or finding something that really hits home and getting yourself 20-30 seconds prior, listening to that song, listening to that thought in your head, and then just fucking giving it hell in the most controlled manner that you can, with the best form, and beat that each week in, week out, and you'll develop world-class legs. Jack pretty much doing what my working set is for a back off of 16 to 17 reps. These are lovely, Jack. Keep going, another 2 in there, continuous, one more, and up. Beautiful. I want 3 more fucking reps now. Come on then, 20 weeks, mate, 20 weeks. Get that in your head now. Set's not over. Let's go. Drive. There's 2 more in there, I'm still not touching. Drive, still you. Yes. Mental, man, why not? That's what I'm listening to at the moment. A bit of Lil Wayne, sorry for the wait. Bang out.
And again, and again. No, I think that was something like 15.
I was just saying to Harry earlier,
What do you think?
that was like my top set about a year ago. I got like 5 reps. And now I'm like doing that for like 13, 14 reps on it. Just shows, just keep turning up, keep beating that logbook, eating, sleeping, and you can grow far more than you ever think you would. If you put in the work and you want something, you'll get it. As soon as like, for me, as soon as I stop, that's when the lactic acid just builds. And those pauses just get longer and longer each time. But if you can try and just go beyond your body and your lungs screaming, stop, 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 you're gonna help yourself in the long run with that. You get bored of the training because it's almost like there's the option of going on performance enhancing drugs like steroids or whatever like that to get the results quick, whereas long-term bodybuilding is not like that. It's a very making smaller improvements over the course of the time, and eventually that leads to a jack size or something like that. It's like, how many years is this taking you to be like get to the size you are?
5, and I still don't feel like I'm big enough. But we're getting there though, we're getting there.
It's just,
5 years.
it can really get you, because I think, especially when like you're not in a diet phase or an off season like that, every day becomes the same. Sometimes you don't incidentally see the changes that are happening week on week, and I think it was only really since I've started looking at your physique a bit more and seeing the changes that happen. I think that's why having a coach is so important, because you need to have that second eye on you all the time, like to kind of see like, this is working or not working, because you're so critical of yourself and you won't see the progress all the time. But
even though you think you're doing it the strictest way possible, like Louis sees things that I don't.
you can always be better, can't you?
Yeah, always.
You can always improve. There's always something, even if it's inside the gym, outside the gym, you can just improve on. And those little, 0.1% fucking add up. It's like putting credits into a bank account, as Adrian Morris always says, and eventually that bank account will just explode and overflow. I've been self-coaching myself this diet phase, and I've realised that I need a coach. I need to have someone else being the puppeteer at the top, and me just following and being a yes man. It's definitely needed. We're not having you pop a knee or anything like that.
I've seen too many videos of that online.
Yeah, I've been there. I've pulled literally someone out of that leg press.
Yes.
Fib and tib, complete break, and I've had to yank him out of a leg press, which I don't want to see ever again.
I only did it because we're on camera, that's all. We go again.
Just feel that last one just went. This is like the big tip is if you're training by yourself, you can easily I'll leave it. I'll drop out of this last couple of reps. But if you train with someone who's stronger than you, same drive, same mindset, you're always going to eke out more. There's always more. There's always more to come in life. There's always more. You can always do more. You can always train harder. You can always eat better. You can always lose weight more. There's always more. Yeah. And it was just hanging like me on the flasses. Like that. So I looked at the back of it. Some buggers taken the back of it and nicked the battery.
Nick the battery?
I know we're in Callington, but so doing some split squats now. I actually really like this exercise. I used to probably absolutely loathe doing it, to be honest, because it's a very demanding exercise and it requires you to have a lot of balance, but there's a few little things you can do to kind of like set it up and make it better than it has to be. A lot of time people will just literally go on a bench like that, which is way too high for them. Also, it's extremely uncomfortable because then the bench hits into your ankle and it kind of rolls on your foot. Whereas if you go to a gym and they have an attachment like this, you can then attach that there, go through there, rest your back leg on, and then that actually moves with your back foot. not to get carried away with momentum on it. Like treat it like a leg press.
Yeah, especially at the bottom as well. Lots of people tend to bounce out.
This is it. And then it all transfer onto like their hips or their glutes, and it's just like, what are you trying to get out of this exercise? Yes, you can. Split squat's a different one because you can get it more quad bias, so you can get it more hamstring quad. But why are you doing it? You're doing it because you want it quad focus. So really, really home in on that quad focus, and to treat it like a leg press, like you're trying to press yourself off the floor. Because I've done so many times where I've done it for ages, I'm just bouncing, I'm just getting horrendous DOMs in my glutes.
It's kind of like you would get to the bottom, you see people, they get the knee travel, and as soon as they hit the bottom range, their knee kind of drop, and then
this is it.
Spring up.
Leg extensions, mate, and we'll finish off. Finishing off with leg extensions now, just to finalise. I find prioritising leg extensions right at the end is the best way I've done it. I've done it before where I've had leg extensions at the start, but the game that we played when we were doing progressive overload, like I was just loading it, and I was stacking it and stacking it and stacked, and then I was starting to get a little bit of knee niggles, and then I wasn't really probably like lifting it full intent. I was always trying to get an extra rep, and I was probably using a little bit of like my hips to get out of it. So we like to prioritise this right at the end. The only big thing as well we do here is we also put a seat belt and wrap it around our hips just to stop us from lifting out of the chair, because when we're putting the leg extension up, our hips are going to want to rise with it. So if we can try and keep ourselves nice and tight in this machine, we can really, really focus on getting full control and movement through the quad.
They're just jelly now. Now it's just to rinse the quads a little bit more on the leg extension. That's it.
You'd probably think that I'm actually looking at client messages or anything like that, but I'm actually looking at the fact that Kate's just told me that we've got £10 off on our Lidl shop. So that's probably the biggest winner today. Can't even get to the extension anymore than that. 20 weeks. One more. And again, yes.
That's it. Done. Fuck. That's horrible. Nothing left.
Looks like a Teletubby. So that concludes our first session. Well, probably like our first proper session together.
Yeah.
So that was legs. We had to start off with a big one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and there's plenty more to come. There'll be loads more. We've got push, pull to go through, and
loads.
And we'll be documenting the whole of your prep, which will be interesting to see you change on a weekly thing. Stay tuned, guys. It's going to be a very, very fun series.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.